Gentlemen, welcome back to me, because obviously I wasn't here last week. Thank you guys for carrying on in my absence. Thank you to everybody who's going to tune in. You could be doing much better things like watching Thursday Night Football at a Beyonce concert. There's plenty of other places, but if you're here, you are a champion. Let me just start by saying that. If you're catching us on a podcast, listen to it later. I'm okay with that too. But if you're here right now, you are a champion. Gentlemen, welcome. I'm excited to talk tonight. We got some fun things to discuss. I'm very excited. But first, as I was thinking about this hosting, I know that it gets a little derailed a lot of the time when I'm in this role. But I wanted to start off with a simple question. Neither of you know what's coming. Just want you to kind of play along with it. Tell me one thing that you learned this week that you found outrageous. I'll go first while you're thinking because I know it's a difficult question. But something I learned this week is that those stupid Stanley tumblers, you can sell them on eBay for like $300. That is outrageous. You can buy them for like $40 and then sell them used for $300.
Yeah, I found that out about a little less than a year ago when my wife was like, "Hey, can I get the Stanley tumbler?" And I was like, "When did you start doing drywall?" I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, everybody wants them." And I was like, "All right, let me look one up for her." She wanted this like earth tone color. So I got online and it was $250. Nope. So I had to look it up and figure out why are these so much money? And because of like the Kim Kardashian and all those crazy ass people, they went through the roof. But can't knock the hustle.
Stanley's.
Yeah, man.
All right, so that was obviously my outrageous thing that I learned this week, which is, again, stupid. Like, nobody needs to spend $300 on a cup. What about you, Matt? I'm going to turn the tables over to you. What was something outrageous you learned this week?
That you put your family before this podcast, and it's absolutely unacceptable.
That doesn't count. That was last week.
All right, so two things. One happened today, kind of sad. My little WWE heart is broken. There's a gentleman named Bray Wyatt who had left a couple years ago due to like a illness that he's facing. There's rumors the last 2 months that he's coming back like soon, and then today it came out that he actually passed away from the illness. He's only 36 years old, and he was definitely a loved person. Roman is my favorite wrestler right now and probably ever, but before Roman, like when Roman was hurt, Bray Wyatt held the WWE down for about 2 years, like by himself pretty much. One of the most creative guys you see in WWE history. Every single like mantra he's ever held, like character wise, he like knocked out of the park and was fully committed to it. Even like so much so to where like there was this last mantra it's called the Fiend, where he had like a little kind of clown demon mask. And he was so dedicated to like the art of it that his family photos for Christmas that he sent to like all his family was him in that mask holding his little baby in his hands.
Nice.
So a true creative, and if the WWE knows how to respect him properly, tomorrow's show will be completely nixed, and he will have a whole tribute to himself for 2 hours because he was that important. That's the first thing. The second thing that was like super outrageous and surprising that I learned also today. So I don't know if you gentlemen know, but the Marvels has been like rumored to be delayed till like November-ish. But that was put on hiatus because Dune was in all the IMAX theaters. Actually came out today that somehow, some way, the Marvels is now taking Dune 2's IMAX screens in November.
Wow.
So to me, absolutely outrageous knowing that, you know, what we know about Dune 2 and what we know about this show or this movie coming out and how not well received Brie Larson has been as Captain Marvel. It's just, I don't know what kind of money Marvel and Disney paid or what happened, but
where did they get that money?
IMAX at first was strong-arming them, telling them it doesn't matter. You know, we have screens for Dune, and that's it. Like the CEO of IMAX was like, yeah, no, not gonna happen. And then now it comes out that they're taking all of Dune 2's IMAX screens. So a little outrageous there, if you ask me. But
yeah, I'm honestly like flabbergasted by that. Steven can't even comprehend it because he's still on mute.
Yeah, I was typing, so I didn't want to get all loud and click, 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 click. That's crazy though, because does Dune 2 have a bigger audience than the Marvels. You know what I mean? Like,
I would speculate that there's more of a fan base that's
Pretty
gonna
close. Yeah.
go to Dune, but I think
yeah,
you have like the juggernaut of Marvel behind it.
yeah, that's true.
That's honestly, it's shocking.
It's crazy. But
Yeah, that is nuts, man. Because that just to wipe out all their IMAX like viewings is, dude. They just have it like that, man. It's the mafia, dude.
mm-hmm.
They
I feel
walked
like
in there, made him an
Dune's going to
offer.
be such like a beautiful movie too. Like,
Yeah, right. All right,
Yeah.
so my outrageous thing is kind of a. I don't know if you guys are gonna think it's outrageous, but I do. So me and my wife, we love Chipotle. I don't know if you guys love Chipotle.
I do.
I know Matt's wife loves Chipotle, and I don't know if Matt
Matt,
eats
I don't think you like Chipotle, right?
No, see the problem
You're not a
is
cilantro lover.
There's two problems with Chipotle for me. One, my wife eats it like every time she can, so I can think of it that way. But then on top of that, there was like a solid. I don't know how long we were at Camelback for, Andrew, me and you at the Best Buy there. But every time we closed together, which was like quite a bit because he made me close all the time.
With me,
it was way too late to like go anywhere. But across the street there was a Chipotle, and he's always like Chipotle, Chipotle, Chipotle.
Okay, so hold on. That was the best Chipotle I've ever been to, and like, there's some Chipotles that you're like, can I get half and half, and they like give you like barely scoops. Like at that store, you'd say half and half, and they'd be giving you like the double for the same price.
We have to say something here about what we're talking about here. For those of you that live in Phoenix, and if there's any people that live in Phoenix, you'll understand what I'm talking about here. Camelback and 20th Street is plentiful of restaurants and places to eat. We did not have to go to Chipotle every single night.
That is true. And you guys did. So you guys' average order was what? Andrew, how much did you walk in there knowing you were going to spend on your Chipotle meal?
Chipotle? Honestly, not too much. Maybe like $12.
$12, right? So say you took Matt on a Chipotle Best Buy closing date. You guys would both go to Chipotle together, and let's just say you're spending $25, maybe $26. Well, me and my wife went to Chipotle on Tuesday, got our regular orders, and it was $36.
Dang.
I was outrageous. My wife came home with the food, and she was like, do you know how much our bill was? And I was like, well, we got the regular. We didn't even get drinks. And she's like, it was $36.
Yeah, you're paying $4 for that avocado scoop.
But the kids were fed, right? With that as well?
No, that was just between us two.
No,
and you probably got your bags and chips.
Dude, I low-key,
you just had doing double meat.
No, I only had steak. But I think it was the guacamole, man. Because I got
guacamole, man.
I don't like my guac mixed in. I like the
Yeah, I mean, if you both get that, that's almost enough to buy another meal. It's $4 each.
I was super pissed, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. For the next like 3 hours after I ate it, I was so mad that I paid $30-something for Chipotle.
And now you're never going back.
I'm probably gonna go back, but just not anytime soon, man. My pockets don't work like that. My bank account, my savings account, nah. Hard pass.
I can confidently say that there's no outside of the brisket they had that 1 year. There's nothing worth $12 at Chipotle. Nothing. I don't care how much is in the bowl. It's not worth $12.
Yeah, but you don't like cilantro.
It's worth a solid $8. That has nothing to do with it at all.
I could eat that rice like that's how I get away without doing double meat. Is I get extra rice.
That's because you're fat.
That like fills it in.
Dude, I love the white rice there. White rice is amazing. Gives you the shits, but you know what I mean? Like, you're going to lose a couple pounds after eating 15 pounds of rice, but
besides the brisket and chips, nothing there is. Nothing there is nothing is hard to make. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, nothing there is like worth $12. I'm sorry, except for the brisket. Brisket was. Listen, if the brisket came back, I'd eat there every day. I love
brisket. Are you talking about? Like, I don't even think I had the brisket.
It wasn't even briskety. It wasn't
even like the barbacoa.
No brisket. You dumb brisket. I gotta say brisket more clearly for you.
I didn't know that they did a brisket.
I love how the first 10 minutes of this episode is us bitching about Chipotle and Andrew going, Barbacoa? No, brisket.
Brisket.
Barbacoa?
Yeah.
Brisket. Brisket, barbacoa.
I don't ever remember. I believe that it was there. I just don't remember it. But anyways, let's continue on. So, gentlemen, you had a good week. Sounds like some of us regret some of the spending decisions that we made. But Matt, tell me a little bit about your week. Anything eventful, exciting going on?
Listen, I made some spending decisions, my boy. I dropped about, I'm not gonna say the exact amount of money, but I can tell you what I got, and you probably can imagine how much it was. So I bought my gaming PC, gentlemen. I've been fiending for a PC for about 4 years now.
Welcome.
4 years, and I've been like fiending, like every like event my wife and I had, like I don't know, an anniversary or whatever. It was like, hey, gaming PC, but it was always kind of expensive. So one got a raise, big raise, big raise, and there's a number.
Congratulations.
Thank you. There's a number I told my wife like 3 years ago. When I get this number, well, no matter where I work, when I get this number of amount of money, and I sign the job offer, the next day I'm going to get a PC. Like the next day, I don't care about the check hitting. Got the number. Next day I bought a PC and I bought a monitor. So I'm sitting pretty right now. I'm gaming on Cloud9. Yeah. That's my exciting.
Well, let's go over some details. Give me some specs. What are we working with?
We're working with a 4070 RTX,
All
12
right.
gigabytes
Respectable.
of VRAM. Looking at 32 gigs of DDR5, 5600 megahertz.
All right.
1 terabyte NVMe, M.2. Nothing crazy on that one. It's just a normal 1 terabyte.
Samsung Evo.
No, I actually did not. This one is came with like the board kind of a thing. And then I got a liquid cooled CPU. The CPU is an i7. What are we on? 13th gen. 13th gen unlocked. So I can overclock that bad boy.
K series. All right.
750 watts. So not very upgradable, but I can upgrade the
Power supply
later. It's not that expensive to do so. Then I got a new monitor as well, which was like the big thing because so on Saturday when I got the PC, I was gaming on my old monitor, which the monitor like wasn't bad. It's 75 hertz, like 1080p, 24-inch, right? Like not terrible. And I didn't know any better because no matter what I was only gaming at 60 hertz if I got lucky in the first place with my gaming. So I had a gaming laptop for like 6 years,
but not like a great gaming laptop either.
It's 1050, like it wasn't terrible. i5 1050, 8 gigabytes of RAM. Like it wasn't awful. And it did the job just at very low specifications. I didn't know any different, so I was like rolling with it. And I was, a monster at games regardless. So I was only pulling 60 hertz max on a good day. And plugged this thing in at 75 hertz. Looked a lot sharper already. I got way more detail out of it, obviously, as well. So I was like, this is great. I can just use this monitor. I'm good to go. And I was like, well, you know what? I might as well just like sell my PS4 that I don't use anymore and sell my gaming laptop that's not going to use now. And probably put about $450 towards a new monitor. So sold them the same day I posted them. Went to Best Buy. I got a 32-inch LG Ultra Gear, IPS panel, 1440p, not low 1440, high 1440, the 20 something, whatever it is, with 160 hertz refresh rate. G-Sync as well, and then I optimized the G-Sync settings with Call of Duty so far, and also my PC in general. So completely optimized now, and I was freaking walking through bullets. I was crying. I was so happy.
Man turned into Neo from Matrix,
dude.
That's a game changer, dude.
I sent a screenshot to the group chat with Andrew and my other buddy Keck, and I dropped like 40 and 15, like a minute and a half of hill time, like just. Look against Platts, and I was like a gold 3
mopping.
Yeah, so I'm looking good. The grind's fun. I played Overwatch today, and every game I've played so far has been like just a completely different game for me. I'm gonna try Rocket League at some point too. I imagine the refresh rate in Rocket League because of the amount of movement going on, it's probably going to be insanely correct, like just crisp. So I'll probably try that at some point, and then I want to try Valorant as well because I love Valorant. So.
Especially when you get that refresh rate up there with Valorant, it feels so much different, dude.
Yeah.
Same thing with Rocket League. It's like
the one thing I will say is my RGBs need to my little RGB hub that like controls everything. It's like wonky, so I got to get that replaced. So they're sending me a new one. So once that gets hooked up, I think I'm gonna do a Spider-Man theme. So right now I have a Spider-Man wallpaper. And it's Toby it's a cartoon version of Toby, Tom, and Garfield. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm either going to do the MSI thing where it scans your background at all times and changes the RGB. So that way,
that's pretty dope.
No matter what game I'm in, it changes like my environment.
Those are pretty cool.
Or I'm going to go with the full-on Spider-Man theme, so I can customize my keyboard and mouse as well to match just
red
a cool
and
red and blue theme.
That's fire.
That's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations for making the switch to desktop PC gaming. It'll never go back.
I'm a man now.
You are, and I'm actually glad you brought up Spider-Man because that's what I was going to talk about. This week, I introduced my kids to The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they loved that. I got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they through the entire movie. Is that Tom Holland? Is that Tom Holland? No, that's not Tom Holland. This is Andrew Garfield. So
put some respect on the name.
Yeah, but they loved it. It was good. But let's switch topics. Again, we got some fun stuff to talk about tonight.
Yes, we do.
We've been living under a rock. The Ahsoka show finally came out. Got a couple cool things that happened. They didn't launch it in the middle of the night, which personally I like because it actually gives me an opportunity to watch it without having to stay up super late. Comes out 6 o'clock our time. I think it's 6 o'clock.
Something like that.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's going to going forward. They're going to keep that time slot, that Tuesday, 6 o'clock, which is perfect. I think that's a great time. There's no reason to do it in the middle of the night. Like, I don't get it. But let's get your overall thoughts and reactions. We got 2 episodes. I'm curious to see what you guys thought of this, and then I'll share some of my thoughts too. But we'll start with Senior Steven. Just give me your overall thoughts, and then at the end, I want you to give it a rating between 1 and 10.
I was just thinking about that before we got on the podcast, see what my rating would be.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, after watching the first 2 episodes, my initial watching the first 2 episodes, I was excited to see what's coming next. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was jumping for joy watching it. I had my boys on the couch with me watching it, and it was like the first time they ever saw, like, I don't know how to say it, but it was like the first time I saw a Jedi fight. You know what I mean? With 2 sabers, just mind blown. And Carson and Jackson, those are my boys. They were just like, dude, who's that? And I was like, that's Ahsoka. And they were just like glued to the first episode. And then the second fight in the second episode, they were glued. So I'm hoping they fall in love with it just like I'm falling in love with it. And my rating right now, I'm giving it a 8.8 out of 10.
Pretty high.
I want to say a 9, but there's a little bit of, and we'll get into the critique, but there's a little bit I'm worried about. But besides that, it's a good 8.9.
All right, Mateus, let's hear it.
All right, so I've been waiting for the show for 2 years now. You guys know how much I love Ahsoka. My favorite character in all of Star Wars by far, I think, besides Mando. And we saw what they did to Mando, so Ahsoka's number 1 right now. I have very little complaints. Very little. And the complaint I have is like something that's not even gonna, like, that probably will get solved in like 2 episodes. But loved it to death. I did call, this whole Sabine Jedi thing. Just want to throw that out there. And I think we had a discussion about that. I think you owe me like something like $10, something like that, Andrew. Anyways, so it's good. I like the motive behind things. I like how they got right into it. There wasn't like no beating around the bush. Like we got Hera immediately, we got Chop immediately, we got Sabine immediately. We got everybody immediately that was supposed to be here immediately.
Not everybody.
Well, the other person, there's a build up to it. But I'm excited. I'm happy with it. I have no complaints. Well, I mean, I do have like very small complaints, but it's stuff that'll probably get ironed out plot wise. I have no worries. I trust Dave Faloni. This is his baby. And he's gonna take care of it, I think. The rating I give it, I would give it a 9. and it's only because of the one complaint I have, and we'll get into that when we get to details.
Hmm.
But it's a very minor complaint. I'll even go 9.5 actually. So that's how minor the complaint is.
9.5. So that's like, this is like perfect TV for you.
It's perfect. Yep.
All right. Interesting. Very interesting. So I enjoyed it. I think I have a couple of nitpick things, but I think for the most part, he's bringing our Star Wars back.
I'm so glad you wore that shirt.
I wouldn't go as far as saying it's a 9 or a 9.5, though. That's crazy. I think it was a very strong start, but you guys are probably going to be like, "What? You're going to give it a 7?" I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It kept my attention. It was exciting. A couple things that I'm really excited for that I'm hoping they expound on is Balin, his character. Man, he is so good. Like, even just his presence, like stoic, being able just to, like, he feels like a villain that's like can contend with like a Darth Vader kind of thing. Like, he's just, when he's in the room, he like steals the show. Very, very cool character. I like that we're finally seeing a Night Sister in the flesh. Very cool.
Yeah, fire.
Getting to see that magic used, I think, will be cool.
And it's respected. Used and respected.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the two people that know she's a witch are like, oh, she's a witch. Like, we should probably not cross her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that we get some more details on who he is. And I'm drawing a blank on the girl's name, but his Padawan. I disagree. I still don't think that Sabine is going to be a Jedi. I think she's just a Padawan.
You know how stupid you sound right now?
Doesn't mean she's going to be a Force-sensitive Jedi.
Are you kidding me right now? You were trying so hard not to just admit that I was right.
You're not.
So every Padawan is not a Jedi.
That would be saying, do Jedis not have the Force? Can you be a Jedi without the Force?
That's not for me and you to decide. That wasn't my question. My question was, does every Padawan not be? So not every Padawan's not a Jedi then. Actually, in your book, it'd be no Padawans are Jedis until they're Knights.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why they're called Knights, and not just Jedis when they graduate. Mm-hmm. Jedi Knights versus Jedi Padawan. Okay.
Regardless, Ahsoka doesn't consider herself a Jedi, and even in the crawl, it says a former Jedi Knight. Like, it doesn't, even though she's training her, that doesn't mean she's gonna be a Jedi.
So dumb. So dumb.
And I think that girl's name is it Shin? Shin or something like that?
Shin, I think. Shin. Yeah. But anyways, back to her and Balin. Like, such a cool character. I was glad that they started like. So let's get into the breakdown, because I wanted to tip my hat to a couple things that Faloni did that weren't necessarily like Star Warsy, but just like film in general. So the first thing, like right off the bat, I wasn't expecting a crawl. Like, that was cool, and it wasn't like the stereotypical Star Wars crawl.
Yeah.
And I love that he's gone to like this deep crimson red, whether it's like the Lucas logo, Lucasfilm logo. I like that. The crawl was good. Let's jump in, but then you have like a very like Star Wars feel to it, where you see like the stars, and then a giant ship comes by. Like, that felt cool.
I love when they do. I love that.
And then I don't know about you guys, but I got a whole bunch of like Episode 1 vibes. Like, when they were getting off the ship, like that felt to me like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Like,
dude, it helped me from that scene, dude.
But like the way he walks down, like, I don't know if it's just like him, but he just looked big, like just massive. Like, he's a cool character, and just the way that he presents himself, and it's so Andrew, go ahead.
I want you, since you have that thought on your mind right now. I was rewatching it. This is the reason why I rewatched it, because I wanted to see, did I see what I saw, or am I just as excited? I love that character. Did you notice this too? He tried to walk away.
Yeah,
like, he tried.
That's what I was right about to say.
Yeah, okay. Like, he tried to leave, without killing anybody.
Mhm.
And
So nothing like Vader.
yeah, nothing like Vader.
Nothing like
But
Vader, but like
but
in
what
the
I
sense
So I
of
don't want to hear you, Andrew, compare him to Vader ever again.
listen.
Again.
I'm
When
talking
you
about
first
like
said it,
the
when you first
stoic.
said it, I let it go. But here you go talking about his character now, and it's nothing like Vader. Like we all know it
So
isn't.
he I think he uses the grip very Sith like more than
Mhm.
his,
Let me rephrase. Not like he is like Vader, but just like his presence is like that menacing to where when you look at Darth Vader, there's like a menacing presence to him. And it's just like he's big, he's bulky, like he doesn't necessarily like try to intimidate, but he's gonna bulldoze you if you get in his way.
To
Yeah,
me,
I kind of got the same
he's just
feel on
a
that.
silent guy who's very wisdom driven, who knows he can beat anybody if he wants to. Doesn't make people in the room fear him. The girl does. I'm scared of her the whole time I see her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If I'm in a room, I'd rather be with the big dude than that chick.
Absolutely,
That
she
chick,
looks nuts.
she looks like she just pulls a knife out of her hair, and you're just like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, she looks like that. She's chasing you down a hospital hallway, and you're just,
Mhm.
yeah, she looks like she's stabbing you to death.
Now let me clarify. Let me clean up quick. I like Balin a lot. Me and Sam talked about it. I freaking love him. He's good so far, and I hope they get more into him. But to me, he's not giving off what's the word he just knows he's better, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
It's an arrogance more than it is a fear tactic, and he has shown restraint multiple times and already unwillingness to like completely commit to doing evil acts. Like even down to like when like Ahsoka has to go, he's like that's a pity. There's not very many Jedi left. Like
Right.
that's already shown a soft spot.
Yeah,
Outside of the other two things he's already shown. So I just think he's a good character. I love him and I hope they build on him really well. But I think he's gonna be a character where he's gonna just be very like Dooku-esque, where he's very wisdom driven, very force driven, and very very proper scholar and knows that whoever comes at him, he can just beat them if he wants to.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I do love how they're giving him conflict. I love how they're not just going.
I do too.
He's a Sith guy. He kills everybody. He walked off that plane almost like if we didn't know who he was, him walking off that ship, you could have been like, oh, look at these Jedi. You know what I mean? Instead of it being like, oh, Sith. You know what I mean? I love how I don't know if she knows the girl. I don't know if she thinks she's doing good or doing bad.
Yeah,
or she just has a mission.
I think she just
is
like fully committed to him.
That's what I think so too.
Yeah.
And I like that.
I like how they're very separated, and the fact that like you have like the internal conflict stuff between both of them and them questioning things, it completely separates them from the Inquisitors. And that's very much needed because it shows the difference between like an Inquisitor versus a force-driven user. Inquisitors who are just kind of doing what they're told versus like force-driven users who are like, there's a purpose to this and we have purpose. And like if it goes against our purpose, we will switch sides if we have to. But it's a definitive line in the sand of, okay, we've had Inquisitors for so many years. These guys right here are very clearly not Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the pain points that, and again, it's very, very nitpicky, but there's just something about Disney lightsabers that just looks off to me. Like,
really?
I can
tell you what it is. I can tell you what it is.
It's got to be just how they light, like how it's actually lit. Like something is just different. Like even when Sabine's got her lightsaber, the green just looks like off. But like
yes, it did. Her green did not look green to me.
Yeah, like it's almost like it's the wrong color. But like again, that's like a very nitpicky thing. But anyways, I wanted to bring this back to their lightsabers being like that orange color. Like it's not fully like crimson red, but it's more of this orange, which I think is trying to signify like these are good people that have had to have adapted and done bad things to survive. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for is that, you know, he's not just a person that's evil, but a person that has had to react to whether it's Order 66 or an empire as a galaxy, and to survive has had to do some pretty horrible things that, again, if we're going with the bleed the crystal they're not fully bleeding their crystals to make it like a Sith, but they've done things that inadvertently bled it, but not fully. So I hope we get some of that a little bit touched on. I hope it's not just like thrown to the side. But the next scene with Ahsoka, when we're introduced to Ahsoka, I got like super Indiana Jones, like first scene of Raiders of the Ark,
Lost Ark,
yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark vibes, and just like down to even like collecting the item. Like I was just like, tip my hat to Dave Filoni, like not just Star Wars, but kind of paying homage to everything George Lucas, which was pretty cool to see. But one of the things that I found kind of funny was like Ahsoka running away from the droids, like blowing up. Like it felt weird just to see like her run. Did you guys pick up on that at all? Or were you like, no, it was fine?
What do you mean her run? Like, because she was scared, nervous?
No, just like the way she ran. And I don't know if that was like Rosario's acting just wasn't like top notch there, or like if they like put her on like a treadmill, like something just felt really weird about the way she was running. Like it just,
to be honest, I didn't even see the running because the scene was so, I want to say not beautiful, but impactful. Like the
world
shit,
building.
That I wasn't even worried about where her hands were at. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What about you, Matt? Did you see anything like weird like that, or?
No.
Right.
The only thing I thought was weird about that scene was that it took so long for him to blow up. That's a really long time to blow up. Like
that's a very long time.
For a very like quick, like, okay, we can't win, self-destruct. It was a good 30 seconds before you actually blew up.
Yeah.
You know what? I just thought about that because that's the same droids that Sabine like hacks into, and that shit was like 10 seconds, and then it was about to blow up. You know what I mean?
Well, that was like, I think that was overheating, not blowing up later.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But that's dead. I didn't even think about that. Her running, I got to rewatch it.
Yeah, rewatch it. And like I said, like, I don't know if it almost just felt like, when there's an actor that is very clearly on like a blue or green screen and just isn't like fully in it. It felt a little bit like that. But again, these are such like little nitpicky things that I don't want to discount like Dave Filoni's vision, because like the world building, awesome. I felt like CGI looked great. Like it wasn't like
dumbed down or anything.
Mm-hmm. But the only other weird thing is just, with the exception of Ahsoka's lightsaber, all the other lightsabers just look off to me. Like her lightsaber is cool. Like I don't know if it was intentional. Like we want to make her lightsabers that are white stand out, but like everything else just had like a weird color vibe.
I feel you on that one. I got to rewatch it and pay attention to that. I really doubt looking at the lightsabers compared to looking at the fight. The color was less important to me, but I know for a fact Jackson and Carson were asking me the colors and what they mean, and I'm not gonna lie, Sabine's didn't look green to me. It looked off, like so I could see that, but
it looks very green to me.
Yeah, but it again, these are such like nitpicky things.
Yeah, this is
like the vibrancy of like Luke's green lightsaber in Return of the Jedi, like way different than this for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. Like I said, my guess is I think it's just how they're using a practical effect to help with that, but it feels different.
Sure.
All right, moving on. Tell me some more scenes that you guys were excited about, or things that maybe like you want to expound on, things that get you excited.
I got one here, and I got this one for Matt because I am a lore whore, pretty much to say. I love lore. I love it. I love it. Building lore to me is beautiful.
Some would say just a whore, but some. I'm not saying me and Andrew would. Just some would.
Okay, thanks, guys. I really appreciate that.
I would say.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate that too. So somebody made a point. We were talking about this during class today. And someone was saying for a person who hasn't seen Star Wars, anything besides maybe the movies, watching Ahsoka
Can't keep up.
is they can't keep up.
Yeah,
They-
understandable.
so with that being said, do you think that some of the scenes in the first episode with Sabine and Ahsoka like being very standoffish at first and things that are said, do you think that they jumped the gun into bringing in Sabine and that conflict really fast, or do you think there should have been some kind of explanation before Ahsoka met with Sabine? You know what I mean? Because I was waiting for the hug. I was waiting
There's
for
no,
like the, you know
there's
what
no
I mean?
correlation between Rebels and this to that happening. Outside of knowing that they were really close, like insanely close towards the other Rebels, the conflict that became of like Sabine being her apprentice and why she left her. One is going to be revealed as we go on because we don't even know the full story yet.
Nobody does, yeah.
But then two, it doesn't relate back to Rebels. That's something that's new to the story. So that's the only thing I would say that would relate to Rebels directly, where it's going to be super, super, super impactful in this show is the main motive of Thrawn. If you haven't read the Thrawn books that came out in the last 3 years, you don't understand Thrawn and like how close he was to making sure the Empire won. If it wasn't for him, then or if he was still here, the Death Star plans don't happen. Something much worse does, and they probably end up winning. And people don't understand that unless you watch Rebels. I also don't understand how him coming back can be such an influential thing. People think Tarkin, was the guy, but there wouldn't be a Tarkin if Thrawn was still here. Thrawn would be the guy.
No, the only reason Tarkin got the spotlight is because Thrawn wasn't there.
Right. People don't understand that aspect of it. People think Tarkin, Vader, those guys, but Thrawn was literally the heartbeat of the Empire for the majority of the Empire's reign. I would say it's the big thing. Now, the second thing is like Hera and like how they know each other, that kind of stuff. But then Ezra and how important Ezra is to the story, and people think, like Ahsoka is a big deal, but like the biggest deal right now is actually the potential Ezra coming back. Like if Ezra's back, that's a bigger deal than Ahsoka even being here in the first place.
Yeah.
So I think those two things, like the most important things of the show, of the motivation of bringing those two characters back, is lost if you don't watch Rebels. Other than that, everything stands off on its own pretty good, I would say.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I feel like when I was watching this, again, these are all Faloni characters, and so he's going to baby it to the extent of making sure it's done right. But I felt like as I was watching it, it was nice to not have to rely on like a Luke Skywalker. Like I've read articles where like people feel like, oh, we need Luke to come, and I have the opposite feeling for that. I'm like, no, like we don't need Luke. Like we're getting new characters. Balin is a great example of a new character that doesn't need to be connected to a Skywalker. We don't need that. We don't need like Luke or Han or Leia to show up. I'm hoping that we don't see any of them. I'm hoping that Filoni sticks to his guns and says, here's a whole new galaxy, and with that comes a whole new breed of Star Wars. But I think it's really cool to see characters that aren't intertwined with the main saga. Like you have Ahsoka, who was a part of the Clone Wars, but she's not really like a part of any of the actual movies. And so it's cool to see that story play out. And obviously we don't know what happens. We don't know how or if or when she dies. Not saying that she's going to die in her show. That would be crazy, but I don't know. Maybe.
That'd be cool. That'd be dope if she did.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I think he's doing a good job. Dave Filoni's doing great, dude, for his first 2 live action Star Wars media. I think it's great. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, I think fundamentally he's good at telling stories, and Mando season 1 and 2 were like a really good testament to that too, because they had like themes, and I'm excited to see what this theme is. Mando season 3 was just a train wreck, but I think we all kind of know.
Yeah,
Kathy got her claws into that one.
Damn it, Kathy.
So it'll be it'll be interesting to see like what the overall theme of this series is. So kind of going through what else part of the episodes that you guys really like, or maybe that you didn't like.
So there's one thing that I think is carrying over from Rebels that I'm not a big fan of, and that's I don't like all the storyline with like the brother and the sisters and the white wolf or the black wolf and all that other jazz. I think it's cool, but I didn't care for it to be wrapped up with like the Force. I wanted the Force to be very simple.
Oh, you're talking
magical.
about like
yeah,
The
and I
painting.
feel the painting. I feel like they're gonna get really big into it. I have a feeling with like the magic of the sister. I just, to me, I just don't
Mortis.
want it.
Jeez, I was trying so hard to pull that out. Mortis.
Yeah, I don't want that, to be honest with you. I don't want it. I don't want the Force to be this like.
You know, I don't get a whole lot of the father, the son, and the daughter vibes.
Yeah, I don't get that either. The animal stuff.
No, not yet. But there's going to be some things coming from Rebels. Hopefully, they don't bring it in. But that was just the one thing that really irritated me about Rebels. I didn't want that to be a thing, and maybe it's just me. But
Are you talking about
Clone
Mortis,
Wars.
or are you talking about like the world between worlds?
all of it. I wanted the Force to be this living thing that's just in everybody, right? Some people are Force sensitive. They have more midichlorians. I love the explanation of the midichlorians, but let it die there, right? You have higher midichlorians, and that's how you can use the Force.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the story of like the brother, the father, and the sister from Rebels. I don't even like the world between
That was
worlds.
Clone-
Clone Wars.
That was
That's
Clone
Clone
Wars.
Wars, right?
That's
Clone Wars
more of
cool.
Anakin's arc though, of like keeping balance, and that's why I don't get that vibe that this will be in there.
Well, he's coming back. Anakin's in this, and so that's why
it's flashbacks for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So exactly. So that's why I'm saying I really hope they don't do flashbacks to this whole the brother, the sister kind of thing. I really hope it's just like Ahsoka having nightmares about Anakin, about training,
PTSD kind of stuff.
yeah, kind of thing. Because I really just didn't enjoy that. I wanted the Force to be this like unknown, just in everybody. It's just, are you able to use it or not? And that's where I'm scared a little bit about it, because Dave Filoni does love that kind of lore.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, just my personal preference, I just don't care for it.
The only thing that I would disagree on with that is that the Force has not been known to be just exclusive to humans.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the very beginning of the Force was the thing that moves through everything. So the animal part of it makes sense. There should be Force wielding animals that are Force sensitive, because it just makes logical sense that every living thing can somehow manipulate it.
The bendo.
Yeah, but the brother sister thing, I think that was just for a very specific thing with Anakin's storyline. I thought they'd bring it back up when it comes to Ahsoka. The only thing I could see making any kind of like I don't even know what the word is, like fairyland kind of feeling, I guess is what it'd be. The Force is when they bring Ezra back with the Purgles. We've already seen some Purgles in this show, or one very like shadowy one. So other than that, I think it stays away from that. But the wolf thing is also important if we want to include Kanan at all. And to bring a Rebels homage show together and not bring Kanan in somehow would be just blasphemous. So I think that's their in with Kanan is he's one with the wolves or whatever they want to call it. I don't think it needs to be in there, but it's kind of the only bridge between Kanan and them.
Yeah, the reason I guess I'm pushing back upon it is like no other Star Wars story like after this, the Force Unleashed or Force Awakens or all that other stuff. Nobody talks about it. It's just like I just don't want it to be something that goes nowhere. If it was in episode 1 or there was some other lore from the beginning, then it's cool. I get it. But I just feel like it's going to be a topic that goes nowhere. And we all know how easily Star Wars TV shows go from really good to like, where are we going with this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I'm nervous about.
I think this is slightly different because if we're talking like a whole new galaxy, that could be like a whole new set of rules to do with the Force, and like the Force whales, what were they called? Purgle. Like it's heavily implied that they're like Force sensitive creatures, but if they're going to like
hyperspeed wasn't invented without them.
Yeah, but if they're going to like different parts of the galaxy, like maybe that's going to introduce new ways of seeing and using the Force that might not apply to this galaxy. And I think if Dave's smart, like, okay, we have the sequel trilogy. It's done. I'm not going to try to rewrite it. I'm not going to try to fix it. That's happening in this galaxy. All this other stuff can happen in a separate galaxy that doesn't affect one or the other. And I think that's a very safe, and it would be cool to see something different that would apply to that. And maybe time and space operates differently. That was one of the things that the Night Sister said is Thrawn calls out to me between time or through time and space. And I was like, that's an interesting thing to say. Like, yeah, because he's in a different galaxy, is time working in a different way than what we're used to? And then that got me thinking about like the world between worlds, which I'm pretty sure they're going to bring that back. And yeah, and I think that'll play like a big part. And if I was to guess, Thrawn's figured out how to use that to his advantage, to where he wants to go back and change things, and that's where it's going to be like the pinnacle of Thrawn's master plan. Is I see every option now, and I know how to beat everybody because I don't look at time as a singular route. I see it from every direction. Yeah. And it would be crazy. Like Balin said, the galaxy has power beyond our comprehension. And I think it's all got to do with like time.
It'd be cool if he came back like the moment like the Empire or the First Order fell. You know what I mean? And they just kept going with the story. That'd be cool, but it would be just weird if they went back and like erased those 3 movies. You know what I mean?
I think
that would suck. I would be so mad, but because that's like let them just lay. I wouldn't be mad if you could delete it from the world, my memory, but don't make another movie or show where it's like now these movies are irrelevant. Like that would be just super annoying. Mm-hmm. But I get you. That's actually pretty interesting. I'm going to go into that.
Yeah, and so and think of it this way: like again, in Rebels, you have Ezra who pulls Ahsoka through the world between worlds. And it's implied that had he not done that, she dies to Darth Vader there. Yeah. So you have this Ahsoka that's out of her time, and she's now in the future, even though she might not realize it. But I think we're going to get a lot of the world between worlds, and potentially like Ahsoka going back. And personally, I would think it would be cool to see Ahsoka go back in time, have a real conversation with Anakin. But it's not like a flashback. It's like it's a different alternate time. I know you hate this stuff, Matt. So you don't think?
Yeah, that's no. I don't know. But I don't know, man. The way the last couple seasons of anything in Star Wars has gone, it could happen. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So Matthew, I hate that Matthew said this because I've been thinking about it since he said this. And I want your opinion, Andrew, and then I want Matt to clean it up. Matt told me, because we were talking about it, and I came up with I was like, hey, man, Sabine, spoiler alerts, if you haven't watched it, spoiler alerts. Sabine gets stabbed, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are they stabbing people now, making lightsabers not hurt or like anything? Because
okay, so
wait. Let me finish it, and I'll give you the floor. Because they're doing Qui-Gon dirty, dog. Qui-Gon got stabbed the exact same way, and he died. He died. And he ain't coming back.
The same way. Okay, so
Matthew made a point. There's 3 people in the last 3 seasons who've been their gut sliced open and everything, and they're just like, hey, we're robots now. Look at this. You know, this chick took 2 weeks to heal, and my boy
not even that. Like overnight, she was fine.
So tell me, Andrew, what
we
you
have
got to say on
Boba
this?
Fett literally surviving from like a pit of acid and just being and then people that he's found not force sensitive just get repaired. It's like
Yeah, it's so when that scene happened, I audibly said, "Not again."
Yes. I was like, they're gonna kill him in the first episode. What is going
I knew
on
she wasn't
here?
gonna die. I knew.
I know.
I knew. Like, so the only defense that I have with this one is this one looked more like off to the side versus like Reva. Is that her name? I don't remember.
Reva. Yes.
Reva, whatever her name is. Like, she got it like straight to the chest twice and was like, "Yeah, no big deal." And
She was
so
like, you look at my AA batteries.
Yeah, at least Sabine's was like in the stomach, off to the side, like not in the chest. But I'm so tired of that. Like, again, the lightsaber, is it as strong as it used to be? Is it getting dumbed down?
Yeah,
and I was surprised that like Faloni did that. Like, this is a man who is like very in touch with the community. Like,
so just in the first scene when Ahsoka cuts the droid, the droid brings up the staff to block her and she cuts it, right? And then in the next episode when she's at the shipping yard where they're taking apart the ships, the same droid pulls out the thing and it goes bink off of it. And I was like, did he just hit the safety bar? You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, that's what I was like, all right. But also too, like, you can melt metal and the saber that close to the droid's face, and it was just like,
not a problem.
Not a problem, you know.
Yeah. So that part was weird. The other gripe, and this is what ultimately knocked my 8 to a 7, is I'm tired of these map quests that Star Wars puts us on.
Dude.
So
even like Dora the Explorer over here.
You have The Force Awakens. We're looking for a map to find Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
You have Episode 9. You got to find the Wayfinder that's going to lead to Exegol.
Yes.
You have Jedi Fallen Order map quest. Like, give us something.
The point of the game. What are you talking about?
Different.
So stupid to put that in there.
No, it's like the same thing though. It's you get a map, you follow the map to accordance. Jedi Survivor is like almost the exact same plot, where it's like opening up a rift to another galaxy. Like, unless they tie it all together. That was my big thing that dropped me. It was like, we're really going on to like another map quest in Star Wars, because I think this is number 4 or 5.
So I really like also too how they're not how like they're bringing it to a whole nother galaxy, and they're not like going just to the outer rim. I don't know why I'm really enjoying that they're bringing a whole new galaxy into play.
You don't want to go back to Tatooine?
No, I don't. That's the thing. I'm so glad it's something.
The perm lady?
I don't want to see anybody. Nobody from Boba Fett, nobody from Mando. Like, let's give me some new stuff. And I for once, I don't want there to be lore. I just want it to go. Give me something. But I think
Matt, you've been quiet. Why have you been so quiet?
I think he's just been changing
because
settings.
Settings number 1. Number 2, it's just you guys are making, not you guys generally, but just general you guys. It's just so dumb. Like, you're mad about them having to find a map to where. What do you have them do in the situation? If they need to go find Thrawn and Ezra, and they haven't done it for this X amount of years, we magically know where they're at. It's just a giant plot hole you're just going to leave there. Like, it's a direct pickup. I'm speaking. It's a direct pickup from Rebels. Like, if there wasn't a map or a way to find them, and they just found them, you'd be complaining about the plot hole that's this massive of them just knowing where they're at all of a sudden.
See, I would have enjoyed it if they went back to grab that witch. You know what I mean? Like, if that was like the first mission was like, hey, we don't have the Infinity Stone and we have to go find this witch to figure out where we're going.
was
That
the
would have been
first-
cool.
That was the first. That's the point of her returning to Mandalorian. She did that. She had
Yeah,
already
yeah,
did
but
that.
like right now, like if they didn't have a map, right, and they ran into the Jedi, the evil Sith Jedi people who are confused, and they were just chasing those guys because they stole the witch from her. I would be cool. I would be cool with that. You know what I mean? I do like how they found the map. I thought that was awesome how they did it. It's not really bothering me that much about the map. Andrew's a little different, you know, but I'm
Felt a
taking it
little
either way. I'm
recycled.
enjoying it. Yeah, I get what you're saying though, because I do hate that feeling of wow, we're getting the same blueprint over and over. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that though.
So that's the first thing. What are the complaints you have, Andrew? I missed I didn't miss them. I heard them, but I was just like shaking my head the whole time. There was the map. There
The
was.
Sabine getting stabbed was another.
I'm with you there. That one I don't disagree on. I brought that one up.
Yeah.
The lightsabers being off, like
the colors, they're just something. They're just not quite right. Like
it's not. I could probably pull up a side by side, and it's very close color wise.
mhm,
And let's be real, the only color we saw that you didn't like was green, because you said
No,
you like
like-
orange.
No. I like the idea of the orange, like them not being fully red. But even like that opening hallway scene with Balin, like when he's holding his lightsaber, like the orange looks almost like fake. Like
No, the lightsaber's not real.
shut up. You know what I mean? Like
It looked orange, like that.
I knew you
as
was gonna
orange
say
as you
that.
can get it. Like I don't know
It
what else
looked-
to say.
so. It didn't look this bad, but I was like, isn't that the same thing that like
Dude, this green I'm looking at on an animated Ezra
guys on
is
the planes
pretty
banging
on
people
par
out?
with this green for Sabine. Like it's not far off here. You're overthinking that part.
Maybe.
I can tell you what the problem is with lightsabers, but it's not the color. The problem with lightsabers, and this goes for across the board since the new trilogy has come out, is that there's no animation when they move. So it's just a stick waving back and forth instead of
Maybe that's
actual
what it is.
an
Like,
actual dragged out light. I mean, I don't know like how to explain it, but like
maybe.
imagine swinging a stick
Mhm.
and like there's no reactiveness to it, as opposed to like if I swing from here to here, there's
like
a
almost like
constant-
motion blur.
like a motion blur. Exactly. That's the real problem with lightsabers since the new trilogy.
That could be what it is.
Now, to be a testament to how good lightsabers are in this specific show, it's a pencil thin one, like in Rebels. Like the continuity is literally there. There's no like thick ember around it like there is in the actual movies.
Mm-hmm.
The big complaint about Rebels was that they were so pencil thin, and Faloni said, "You know what? I'm going to keep them pencil thin. That's how my lightsabers are, because that's how they were when George Lucas had them back in the day." The only difference between like the lightsabers now is that there's that motion thing, which makes it look dull. I will say that much. It's
Maybe
not
it's
as
that.
cool
Maybe I
looking,
just haven't like.
but the
I
color
haven't
is
been-
not the issue. First off,
It just I guess it might be motion blur or like I don't know when I think about a lightsaber I imagine like a beam of light and then like it's hard to explain like particles coming off of it as well. And
yeah, no, that's how we've been. That's because the trilogy after the original, so the prequels, that's how they
Mhm.
were, and
Mhm.
it looked good for the modern century. And Filoni doesn't embrace that. Filoni loves the pencil thin original design that Lucas had, which wasn't because Lucas wanted to do it, just because that's all he had that he could do at the time.
Technology-wise,
Yeah. But Filoni has kept that same mantra of this is how it was, this is how I'm going to keep it, and
Mhm.
and he likes it that way. The motion part of it is something different, where there's no like motion of light. It just looks like someone's throwing a stick around, for lack of a
a
better
glow
word.
stick, a straight glow stick.
Well, even
Yeah,
glow sticks have
I
a
think
better,
I
like,
think that's
attraction,
more
right?
accurate of what I'm trying to get at. But the green, for some reason, her green like it
Green
must.
is not enough.
No. Let me finish. The green not moving must like
Yeah, it could
bring
be
that out more, because like I look at green and I immediately think of Return of the Jedi, Jabba's the ship, like,
Here,
and
look,
that lightsaber looks so good.
look, Sabine's green,
But it's not,
Ezra's. It's like spot on. Spot on. That's the same green. But there's an emission of light around it, like you're talking about. That's probably what you're thinking of.
click the one that's by the direct underneath Screen Rant.
By the direct?
It went away when you go back and click that picture again. That same picture. That wasn't the same picture. No, click.
Oh no,
click.
no, sorry. Where's the picture? This one.
Right there. Where she has it off to the left.
Yeah,
left,
that
left,
one.
left.
Left of so.
Yeah.
This looks weird to me. Like that looks fake. Like it doesn't have that glow. Like that looks like a glow stick, not like a lightsaber.
Yeah, from like
Oh my gosh, a million
Disneyland or
ads.
something.
And
Good
so,
heavens, the director is literally trying to get my money off me. Yeah, this one's angled for sure. It looks weird.
so if you
That's
were to
one
go,
frame.
if you were to go into the hallway scene with Balin, there's another like that shot where it's like him close up moving like with it like right next to his face. It's got that same vibe where it's like it's
Yeah, you're
not.
talking about let me pull up Balin. I saw it already. Like in this scene. Oops, sorry, too loud. Oh wait, I'm not sharing it.
Yeah.
Let me go back. You're talking about in this screen about right like around this area.
It's the next. It's.
Right here.
I thought it was on his other side. I think it's right before he enters the hallway. Yeah, I think he went too far. It's like right as he enters.
I'm gonna mute it so I can just play it.
Oh, it would buffer. It's all good.
Yeah, well, I get what you're saying, but
like, see, like these pictures, like that's what it looks like, and it looks good, but it's got to be the motion. Like, I think you're spot on. Something's not quite with the motion.
What else do we have?
I also think that we're nitpicking something with it, like, hey, let's see. Yeah. This is
to me
this
the biggest nitpick thing out there. You guys haven't even mentioned.
What is that?
Ahsoka is way too slow to be playing Ahsoka. She's way more agile than this. She looks stiff when she's fighting, and it does not look like Ahsoka to me.
And maybe that's what I was trying to pick up on, like the running away. Like it felt weird. Like
she doesn't look agile, which they could attribute that to her age, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if Rosario Dawson wasn't able to be agile, she should not be playing Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is Ahsoka's thing. She is a dual-wielding lightsaber who can flip and turn on a moment's notice, and she's faster than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
They showcased it a little bit when they had her first scene fighting the droids, where she dropped down, just did the cuts underneath. That was peak Ahsoka combat. But then the actual lightsaber fight was like, it just feels stiff. And I don't know if they're going to attribute it to her having the coat on, because when the coat's off, damn well Ahsoka's going crazy.
Yeah, flipping.
But I'm having a hard time seeing the acrobatic Ahsoka that I even loved in Rebels. Mm-hmm. And other than that, I have no complaints. That's why the only reason why I give it a half, because when she fights, she looks stiff and not Ahsoka-ish.
Yeah, I agree. And I maybe that's what that opening scene where she's running, maybe she just feels like more clunky than what I'm used to.
Yeah,
that definitely is true.
So maybe
I'm looking for it right now, and like through like the Star Wars like Wikipedia and all that jazz, it says that she was 31 years old when Rebels start. So at the end of Rebels, they're saying she's 36, and then there's end of Rebels was what right before New Hope, right? A couple years before New Hope in that time frame.
It's like 5-ish years between 4, 5, and 6,
something like that. And then it's 7 years since he's been gone, because she says he's been gone for 7 years, right? So that would make her in her early 40s. That's kind of. I see Qui-Gon. How old was Qui-Gon? He was still doing some flips. You know what I mean? Doing something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but he also finished his training, and he was a Jedi.
True. Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't really even.
I get that. I get that sense, and I think a lot of it just has to be translating from animation to live action. But I think you're right. Like, find somebody that's going to be acrobatic with it, or is willing to do the wire work, or find a way to CGI it, I guess.
Ahsoka's 47.
Yeah. 47? But I mean, that's not old in like a Jedi sense.
It's not old.
Like, Balin's what, 50, 60?
Dude, I saw old ass Palpatine spin through 3 Jedi in episode 3. Like, come
Yeah.
on, let's be real here.
Yeah, also a Sith Lord, but he finished training. You know what I mean?
He did finish his training.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
outlasted every other Jedi that finished their training.
Yeah,
So I don't want to hear about the training part. Ahsoka
That's
survived.
that's
Yeah.
because Anakin taught her to survive.
She also
Yeah.
killed an Inquisitor in a matter of like 20 seconds.
Yeah. All right. So let's kind of wrap it up. So I feel like we just talked mostly about episode 1. Episode 2, more so, I feel like was building towards the conflict and resolution
A lot of
that
standing around.
we're gonna find between Sabine and Ahsoka. I'm all for that. I think that'll be fleshed out in time. This new Inquisitor. Any ideas? Do we have any hopes? Just throwaway character.
I think he's
Is
a
he-
throwaway character.
Is he a new Inquisitor?
Yeah, she's
don't
the
know.
one who fights at the yard. That's
I
what
know
people are
he's an
calling him.
Inquisitor, but I don't think he's a. Is he new?
Is it? I don't know. Do we know who that character is?
Unless it's Black Noir from The Boys, because that's what he looks like. You know what I mean? Like,
Maroc.
because
No, yeah, he's new.
Do we have?
Um,
Do we know it's a he? Could it be a she?
I
Could
don't
be.
care. I don't care.
Could be a thing.
Could
Could be a-
could this be Barris? Because that would be great.
No, it wouldn't be. I think Barris is going to be dead anyway.
so
But I think he's gonna. I think if you have anything in this window of time, there has to be an Inquisitor, kind of like also still riding with the Empire, because they were so influential during that time that like they don't just go away unless they're eradicated. So I would rather see them be eradicated than people just say, "Oh, the Inquisitors are no more."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just didn't know. Like when that came on, I was like, "Oh, cool!" Like Inquisitor. Which Inquisitor is this? And
I like how she moved out of the way. It's all,
oh yeah,
That's what I was
that
like,
was just
fire.
like
Paul
I just
Darnell portrays the man inside the Inquisitor's suit.
Yeah.
I think we have our answer.
does he identify as a man?
Don't care. It's not Barris is the point.
All right, Andrew, give me your this is what we're betting on this new season. Tell me what you think and how this show's going to end, or what the big reveal is.
That is a good question. Honestly, I don't really know. I think I kind of gave a little bit of where I think the direction is going to go, and I feel like time and learning how to manipulate time is going to be a big thing throughout the show. And I think that's going to be Thrawn's master plan is the Empire's gone now. Instead of trying to rebuild, I've learned how to go back and fix the mistakes or undo the fall of the Empire and restore it to their peak empire. But again, that's just like a shot in the dark. Like,
Okay, Matt, what do you think? How do you think the show ends?
I think Thrawn comes back before the last episode. I think we could have saw 2, maybe 3 episodes of Thrawn in it. I think Ezra comes back in the last episode and is the ultimate hero of things.
really, you think he's the hero?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know, like what happens with the story specifically. I imagine we eventually get a cool 2v2 duel with Ahsoka and her Padawan, and that dude and her Padawan, or in his Padawan, which would be the coolest part of the entire thing. I think we haven't seen a 2-on-2, I think, ever in the history of Star Wars, where the Sith Lord and the Sith Padawan fights the current best 2 Jedi. So that'd be cool to see for once, and interesting to see how they choreograph it as well.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm going with no expectations. All I care about is that they do Ahsoka's character justice, and so far they have. Every single person that's in it, even Chop, has been exactly
Chop
how
was
I
so
wanted it to
good.
be. Yeah,
Good.
Anyway, you keep going.
that's it. I don't have anything to say. I think Ezra comes back. If I don't see Ezra like not in a
Ezra's
holocron,
coming back.
then I'm gonna be verbally upset. If I don't see some kind of Kanan reference, especially with the whole Jedi thing with Sabine and then Ezra coming back, I'm gonna be very disappointed in Faloni. But I digress. That's all I have.
I think Kanan's a long shot. I think it would be cool to see. But I am kind of hoping to see like a very confused Ezra. Like at the end of Rebels, we saw like he rose to the occasion, was able to make like that sacrifice, but that was a long time ago, and we know that Ezra is capable of having like a lot of darkness in him. Like that would be kind of cool to see like this on the fence, like again, somebody who's mirroring a Balin figure where to survive he's had to do some pretty horrible things, and now that line is blurred. So that could be cool to see. You said something that I was gonna. I can't remember. How do you think it's gonna end, Steven?
So I agree with you a lot. I think they're going to use time, space. They're going to find some weird thing that this galaxy or the traveling to a galaxy that it's going to do something, and Thrawn figures it out. But I also have this feeling where we get Ezra and we get him, but we get him for a brief moment, and then he like sacrifices himself. I have this weird feeling that we're not going to get like a long story.
Did that.
Like I feel like they show up, they get there, and they realize that the whole Thrawn's idea is like, why am I going after one galaxy when I can try to take them all over, kind of thing. He realizes that he's. I feel like when they get there to where they're going, he's already going to be taking over there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they're going to show up, and it's not going to be what they think it is. And then they're going to be trying to grab Ezra to take him back, and he's just like, I have to stay here. You know what I mean? Like, these people need me, kind of thing. And I feel like that's how it ends, or that's what they lead to. You know
Ezra,
what
are you doing? Finishing the fight.
Oh my gosh, so
I need a gun.
I do see a world and a possibility that I need to throw out there that could probably will happen. I think if they do get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, which it sounds like they're going to here pretty soon, I think this could be a good. This is gonna like really make you two mad, I think, because it's Star Wars. But this could be a good way to branch off the trilogy we just saw and make this whole like time or manipulation thing happen to where that what we just saw with Snoke and Ren are in a different universe.
I'd be okay with that.
Than this
I would be too.
Continuity.
100%.
And they can go both ways with that, with keeping Rey and her universe over there, and then keeping the OG Skywalker trilogy over here. But I think if they can take the opportunity to do it, they will. And if they're going to go the time travel route anyway, which sounds like probably the World Between Worlds stuff is going to happen, that's very easy to get done in the Star Wars universe with the already established.
I think they could do that. I think so. If we're talking about time travel, we won't spend too much time on this, but they could, if they wanted to, say that the timeline that Ahsoka is not a part of leads to the sequel. And now this new timeline that Ezra has pulled her out of and she's in leads to a different outcome because now she's met Grogu.
I don't know.
It's different.
So, you run into an issue though with the continuity already being continued from Rebels. That other timeline, you're looking at people like Luke not coming in because of that. And you already have that established character of Luke and Leia, and that's the thing. They're already in a weird spot. They need to have it divert once the Empire falls, I think, or right after it, where there's a situation where maybe like Thrawn ends up winning in one or not winning in the other, but they can't touch it from where
but
it already is.
Wouldn't like a really good nexus point be where Ezra reaches through the World Between Worlds and pulls her out? Like that clearly wasn't something that was supposed to happen. Like he made that decision.
But you're opening up plot holes already, and not just one, in both situations.
But they're plot holes that need to be there because he did it. You know what I mean? Like the plot holes are now there because he pulled. You know what I mean?
But we don't know where Ahsoka's supposed to be at in that moment in time. That could have been bound to happen.
No, didn't he see her
No,
in it? And he saw her.
it was pretty assumed that Vader kills her there. And so that's what I'm saying. The timeline where
seen on he goes in there where we all thought she was dead.
Mm-hmm.
The episode of Will Wars comes in and he pulls her out before she ever dies. We know nothing other than that. There was no other situation where we saw where Ahsoka was confirmed to be dead in that situation.
Fair.
It's like the old the Avengers theory, like when Kang let the Avengers do what they're supposed to do because they're supposed to be there at that moment in time. It's like that. Ahsoka was supposed to be taken at that moment in time for it to continue properly.
We don't know that for sure.
And it's only reason why I say is because the plot holes are going to be even bigger and worse if you do it that way. There should be this event that happens in Ahsoka should be the catalyst of what splits them, not from what's before.
That'd be fine either way. Just get rid of the sequel trilogy. All right. Well, let's switch topics. I know we're running low on time. Steven, do you want to briefly give your expert topic? And then we'll jump into the game.
So I had two. One, I just wanted to say that they're bringing Ahsoka to Fortnite, and I'm stoked on that.
Hell I'm not playing now, my good PC.
I know, right? Second thing is, since my question was going to be about a little more on Call of Duty and a couple of different, a little bit of the culture in there, I'm gonna hold that for another topic. Since we're talking about Star Wars, let's bring this up. Do you feel like in Star Wars, me and Matt argue about this all the time about Rey and about Kylo Ren. Do you feel, Andrew, and then I'll let Matt finish it. Do you feel that a lot of the times when Jedi are fighting Sith or Sith are fighting Jedi, sometimes there's always one that's just this badass, and then they fight somebody who's not as skilled maybe. Do you ever feel like the fight gets dumbed down to like the lowest common denominator? Or do you feel like it's always somebody walking in with their strength level versus somebody who's at their level, and it's an even, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it ever a one-sided fight, or do you always feel, because I do, that it always gets dumbed down to the lowest common denominator?
Yeah, it's called plot armor. Like,
okay,
there's no world where on Starkiller Base that Kylo Ren shouldn't have mopped both Finn and Rey. Like, neither one of them had done any training, and this man's gone years with training with one of the greatest, if not arguably the greatest Jedi of all time, and then training with a Sith Master or Sith Lord, like Snoke, who is, as they say, Palpatine.
Or not counting Snoke. If you read the actual canonical comic books, Snoke cannot be counted as a Sith Lord.
Okay. Palpatine acting through Sith or Snoke. He's got his training would have mopped them easily. Like, there's no reason that fight should have even lasted more than 2 seconds. Like, he should have just ripped the lightsaber out of their hands, cut him in half.
I think we get it. Like, you're just rambling on now. You're just waffling.
Okay.
It's infuriating, though. It's so infuriating. Like,
it's not.
What do you mean it's not? You
so
disagree?
Matt, tell me. Yeah. Oh, strongly. He strongly disagrees.
No. You guys. Okay. You guys are both. Well, not you both. Steven, you are completely non-contextualizing our conversation whatsoever. I do agree that Kylo should have beat them at full power if he was not holding back, if he was not severely injured. Yes, Kylo should have beat them. Those three things I just said take into effect of that fight. Yes. He did not want to beat Rey. It's very clear in the entire dialogue he has with her. He was very much injured, like very injured, with a bow that blasted 3 people 20,000 feet back every time we saw it on camera. And that's not for the psychological part of this either, where she already tried to force manipulate her and it didn't work because she was resistant towards it. That puts a little bit of hesitancy towards you to be like, yo, wait a minute, she actually might be a formidable foe. If those things weren't there, and it's just a straight street fight, okay, you know what it is? It's that Batman Superman debate. Middle of the desert, no preparation, Superman wins. Preparation, all this everything happens on, Batman wins. It's the same situation there. There are factors that take into place in which Kylo loses because of those factors, and it's very understandable with all those factors in it. Now, if you want to say like power for power, it's not even close. We saw her need Kylo in the last film, and in the throne room scene.
So the reason why I bring this up is because when I saw Sabine fight the crazy
same thing. Yes, I agree.
Down, and I was so disappointed.
So
I wanted her, that girl, to just mollywop her and like slam her against the wall and just play with her. And I wanted that so bad because it makes it seem like anybody who picks up a lightsaber just with like 15 minutes is just this gangster with the lightsaber. And like, dude.
Well, first of all, she's had it more than 15
The context
minutes.
is just out of the window.
So
one, we don't know how much training this other girl has had. Two, we know that the person that trained Ahsoka was Anakin, who taught everyone how to survive that was under him.
Not only that, but Sabine got training from Kanan with the Darksaber. Like, this isn't her first like role, like holding a lightsaber.
We can assume it's a little bit different. We can also assume it's been at least 5 years because it's a 14-year gap between the last season of Rebels and now. Like, even if it's been a 5-year, 10-year thing, it's still 5 years of solid training from one of the greatest that's on the planet right now. That's a Force user.
So
she also says I haven't seen her in 7 years. So technically, we'll say we'll give her
7 years.
So, but you're gonna say that from the day they left, they went missing. She became a Jedi or trained for 7 years and then still quit.
Hold on. We're also missing. We're also missing a very important factor that Sabine is a Mandalorian. She has skills. Like, she's not just like a person who sat on a desert planet her whole life.
Sure, for sure. I agree with that. I do agree with it.
The second part is I looked at whatever her crazy psycho face. I forget her name again. Yeah.
Psycho lady.
I got a little when I was watching that scene, I thought she was like toying with her. Not like dumbed down, but like the mission was to draw out Ahsoka, and it was to go find Sabine to bring out Ahsoka, and that's what I thought she was doing. Was I'm not here to kill you. I'm here to get you to show Ahsoka.
See, I'm watching it right now as you're talking, and it to me, after watching the hallway scene where she gets off the ship and she just destroys all those guards, and then she fights Sabine, who's like looks like she's wearing Uggs, and she looks like it's just like, what the shit is going on, man? It was just like you just got me terrified, and then you have me. Sabine hasn't picked that bitch up in 7 years, and she's hanging with you, homie. Like, I just don't like. I hate the dumb down, dude. Like,
I hate the dumb down too. I didn't feel it that much there. I thought that was more like she was playing with her food kind of thing.
We also don't know how much training this other girl has. Like, we're just assuming she has like 30 years of training all of a sudden. She could pick it up last year for all we know.
That's a good point.
Well, then Sabine should be a shitload better if she picked it up for 7 years.
It's been very evident from what everyone is saying that she was not very good at wielding a lightsaber or being force sensitive.
So if she's not very good, all of a sudden she hangs with this chick who just mollywopped the shit out of a whole guard.
Dude, Sabine took down armies before in Rebels. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. Why did she bring her guns and shit? She's like, hey, let's grab the tool that I'm least experienced with, the lightsaber.
That's the only tool she had there. We didn't know there's no.
You didn't see her helmet and all that shit in the bag.
Her helmet wasn't there.
That takes time to put on.
Yeah,
her helmet was there.
Yeah, you went all the way upstairs to get some shit, and you were like, hey, let me blow off this lightsaber.
You're grabbing the first available thing you have at your disposal to fight droids. She did not know this girl was going to be there.
I don't know, but I feel like they're dumbing it down, and it's just that fight scene. I enjoyed the fight, but I just felt like once again they dumbed it down.
I did feel like the end of that episode.
You guys do know that every like superhero thing where like a villain actually can be kind of menacing. That's going to happen. Like,
yeah,
every single one.
There's always got to be
for sure.
The hero gets whooped.
Yeah, I get that, but it's just these are Jedi Knights. These are Sith dudes or confused cats or whatever you want to call them. It's like they're fighting. They're living and dying by the sword, and yet
And she stabbed her. That's the other thing. As soon as she saw someone coming, she's like, "Oh, time to wrap it up," and then walked away. Like,
I'm
Yeah, but,
telling
like-
you, she had to have been playing with her food, like,
dude, if you watch
and-
it, she does.
and
She's
you
really
can't
trying.
compare. You can't compare like a Mandalorian to
Born and
like
bred to kill Jedis.
some guards that are New Republic pushover guards. Like,
I just have
that's
that
the
feeling,
equivalent of
man.
like a stormtrooper. Like a stormtrooper is gonna get mopped every time, but like a Mandalorian, they're gonna do a little bit better.
But see, the same thing drove me nuts about the Knights of Ren. Like, all of a sudden, they were just these scary ass dudes, and then
Nothing.
no, they got all pieced out by Kylo Ren because he had to find his girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that just was, yeah, it was so, it dumbs it down to me, dude. Like,
Look at him.
the dude, hey, Kylo can stop a bullet in midair. A laser
pretty
can
impressive.
stop it, hold it.
Uh-huh.
But then Rey comes, who used to sweep with the stick, and all of a sudden he can't fight no more. And all of a sudden
that's all
he
she
can't.
does. That's all she's ever did. Yeah, she just sweeps a stick. Yep, that's all she's ever done.
She
She
was
definitely did. She definitely
At
didn't
that
force-
moment, yeah.
definitely didn't force resist his biggest power, which is reading minds or anything like that. Multiple times. She also
Yeah.
didn't force read his mind, even though he couldn't do it to her. So
in
yeah,
2
but all
seconds,
she's ever done is
that's-
swing a stick.
But
Like,
that
come
is true.
on. There's no
She's doing this
context.
stick.
Missing your context from everything.
This is the
There's
problem
no
with the
context.
sequels.
No,
I just gave you
yeah,
all the
but see,
context.
There's no context, Matt. She literally was like, "Oh shit, you know what I should do? Just resist." Oh, Luke Skywalker, you had to go through all that training on a weird ass planet to learn some shit. I'm just gonna blink, and then all of a sudden I
Some
can resist.
people
stuff.
have it, some people don't. Anakin, when he's first found by Qui-Gon, the entire
Yeah.
pod racing scene,
Yeah.
guess what
Yeah.
he was doing? Not trained or even like introduced into Jediism at all. But guess what he could do? He just had the
What
gift
was
of
he
manipulating
doing?
the Force.
But what he
The pod
what he
racing
pick,
scene, he survived. Like, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
but it did it blow up?
Did what blow up? There's a lot of blow ups in the pod racing scene. Yes,
Did
that was supposed
he
to come
blow
his
up?
way specifically.
Did a Sith Lord try to get into his brain and him stop it? No, he was just like,
No.
please hold on.
Also,
Sith
and
Lord
he
got
held
into
on.
his mom and then birthed him.
And he
Yeah,
also,
birthday, pretty
for
much.
being real canonically speaking, he also, well, actually, no, Anakin was. But to the point of like Rey, she is a clear, and it's very clear canonically speaking, whether you agree with it or not, it's irrelevant. The context is there that she is a special, one of a kind person in the Force that's never been seen before. So much so that Palpatine's like, let me not kill you, let me just like
Transfer.
get you to like come in me.
See, that's where I think the trilogy's shit the bed by like, hey, 3 seconds into this movie, this chick is just the man. You know what I
No,
mean? Like, it's the plot. It's everything that you have to be trained. You have to be one with the Force. It's like you can't just think harder, and it just like I have no idea what I'm thinking about,
She's one of
and
a
it
kind.
happens.
She can do that.
Well, she's not one of a kind, but you know,
She literally is a dyad. The dyad part, well, there's two of them, her and Kylo.
yeah. But like Anakin literally is the chosen one, and yet still had to go through training, still had to go through stuff.
Yeah, he didn't bring balance to the Force at all at any point in time.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did. That's how the balance of the Force happens. He literally balanced the Force
All right,
by
all
throwing
right, all right.
Palpatine off.
All
Like,
right.
Yeah, wasn't
Yeah.
Luke that did anything to influence that whatsoever. If Luke wasn't there, that probably would have happened eventually, right? Yeah.
that is the whole purpose of Star Wars. You know that, right? Like the whole purpose is the redemption arc of Darth Vader. Like,
Sure.
so he did
Until
bring
Rey.
balance.
Until
Well,
Rey.
let's
Until Rey-
use your
until Rey-
non-contextual
Rey
examples here.
was like, oh,
Let's
let's
use-
just stop the Sith
Let's
Lord.
let's go here then. Since plot doesn't matter to you so much, if Luke was never there, that would happen.
Sooner or later, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
All right, let's
Okay.
transition into the
If-
game because
if
we
he's
could
the
go on
chosen
no,
one.
it's minutia now. We disagree. The fundamental fact
No,
that you just
it's-
said the same thing differently, like, or disagree on one thing that was like the fundamental crux behind both our arguments. It means that we're already going to disagree on it going forward.
All right. I guess we agree to disagree because that doesn't make
Agree
any
to
sense. Like,
Disagree.
I just said what you just said. Agree, disagree, just with more words.
Let's let's do our game.
that makes no sense. But all right.
Oh, let's do our game. We're going to transition to the game. That's the sense it makes. Anyways, so the game we're going to do tonight is called 20 Questions. It's you two versus me, or you can do 1v1 if you want. I don't really mind either way.
Let's do teams.
Okay, cool. So 20 questions. every fifth question, I should say, could be an open-ended question. Every other one,
has to be yes or no.
Yes or no. Yep. We're gonna do actors. Make it simple. I'm not gonna change any other thing. I was thinking about doing TV actors, but sometimes these shows that we haven't seen from one another, stuff like that. So I'm gonna pass on that one. I have 3 actors. I think that's plenty because it doesn't encompass a tie and it kind of keeps it short.
Mm-hmm.
So, gentlemen, first actor. I'm gonna give you no context other than they are all he's. No she's. Okay. And they are all A-listers or B-listers, I would say. So I have the first one pulled up. Whoever wants to go first, it's going to be yes or no question, and then the 5th question will be the open-ended question. So you have 4 open-ended questions and 16 yes or no's.
All right. Steven, you got anything, or you want me to go first?
Go for it.
Is this actor affiliated with Marvel?
Currently or has been?
Had any? Either.
Yes.
All right. You gonna go? You want me to go again?
I'm trying to think of something right now.
You guys can do whatever you guys want to, yeah.
Does this actor's family also act?
Let me look. I don't think so. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely a no.
Is he a drama actor?
Yes. He's done dramas. I don't know if he's a drama actor specifically, but he's done dramas, and he is not in comedies. That's what you mean. Like he tends to be more towards drama. Yeah.
Is this actor Caucasian?
Yes. This next one is open-ended now. Whoever wants to.
I feel like, Steven, you should get it since I've asked 3 already. Open-ended.
What phase of Marvel was he in?
Technically none. No phases, technically speaking. Yeah, I don't know if I elaborate, it's going to give it away, but he technically was not in the MCU.
Edward Norton?
Edward, incorrect. You guys will get 3 guesses, by the way.
Whoa.
Sorry, I should have started with that.
Is this actor over 40?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Did this actor play in Ghost Rider?
No, definitely didn't. I don't even know why.
I thought the same thing.
No.
That's why I thought it was going to be.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the greatest Superman of all time. No.
Let's see. Has this actor played in DC movies?
Let me look. No, actually, no. He's not.
I don't know. John LeBlanc.
Has this actor? Is their MCU a TV show, like Project a TV show?
No. I said I skipped TVs.
Okay, you skipped TVs.
Yeah, TV actors.
Well, I mean, this person who I was thinking of wasn't necessarily a TV actor, but they did have
a role.
Mm-hmm.
Got an open-ended question, I believe.
I have one more guess, but I don't know if it's. Is he in Blade?
He is not.
All right, then I'm out. I have no idea.
Open-ended question. What is this actor's best movie?
Ooh. It's gonna really narrow it down. Like big time, because it's hard to.
Mm-hmm.
So where he's the lead or where he's in it?
Where he's in it, just so it's not like
12 Years a Slave. Or Inglorious Bastards. However, I mean, you can make an argument for either one.
Does this actor portray a character who can control metal?
He does.
Who is Michael Fassbender?
That is him. Ding, 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 ding.
Let's go.
Michael Fassbender was him. That's the first one. 1 point to you guys. Next one's up. Whoever wants to go first.
Steven, you got it.
It's a guy.
Yeah, they're all
Right?
guys. All them guys. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Does he look like a bee?
Gotta try thinking B.
Before we go on, is any of them like a voice actor? Like, you know
No.
what I mean? Like, is it going to be an
No.
animated kind of thing?
No, just movies.
Is he
They could have
black?
voiced somebody, but they're actual like predominant actors.
Is he a
He's
black
not,
guy? Oh, what was race?
He's not black. That's a no for that one.
That's good.
It's weird. It sounds. I know more black actors than I know white actors.
Is this character or actor in Harry Potter?
No.
I thought he might go there. Try to stump us in our own game.
Is he a comedian? Like, is he in comedies? Yeah.
Well, he's been in comedies, yes, but I would not. No, not a comedic actor at all.
Is this actor bald?
No, not bald. You guys have opened the question next.
Throw the OP question out.
Just do it, right? What's his best movie?
What's his best movie?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious! If you ask me, and I am an expert. I am an expert
Your
in
next
all
question
things.
should be like, "Hey, what does his name rhyme with?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Farnold Schwartz.
Oh man, hold on, I'm trying to think. The two films that I would say are going to really give it away, but I'm gonna
He's
have.
on Castaway.
I have to say it. I have to say it. His best film is, if you ask me, it's Django. Well, actually, that's not his best film. That's DiCaprio's correct. Yeah, it's OP. It's actually not going to be so easy. Tell you that one.
The last one.
I'm gonna say a film you guys don't even know about, and just say it's my favorite movie that he's ever come out with. We will do the next one, and we are up.
I mean, we already won, but we'll play.
Yeah, you did win, but there's caveat. Double or nothing.
See. Is this actor older than 40?
Yes.
Okay.
Denzel Washington.
No.
Easy. We only got three guesses.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Has this actor done any Disney movies?
I don't. No, actually, no, he hasn't.
Okay.
Okay, has he ever been in a horror movie?
I think so. Let me look at this one. Yes, he has.
Andrew, you're up.
Has this person ever won an Academy Award?
Yes, I believe so. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure yes.
There's an Academy Award winner. Don't you be looking up people? I see you.
No,
Who,
I'm
me?
changing our category.
Oh.
I've been changing the category. It's a lot more people have been watching. Let's see.
So it's an Academy Award winner
Yeah, Academy Award winner.
for Best Actors.
Well, best actor.
Yeah,
but yes.
actor, sorry.
Yeah.
Is it open ended, or are we still having yes or no questions?
I think
This
we got
next
one
one's
more.
open, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
For it.
Did he win this in the last 10 years?
No, the award, no.
Hmm.
Not.
Has this actor directed a movie?
Yeah, technically.
I love those.
I would say I would say they more produced it, but they did have some directorial like say so. Like it was like a dual directorship, but definitely a producer tag kind of a thing.
I don't want to ask the question that gets us the answer, but I do
know.
want to like. What was his first movie?
Ooh, that's a good one.
His first movie?
Yeah, his first movie.
First movie on IMDb. Credited movie. That's a good one. That's a good one without like skipping.
Yeah, I
the
don't
end.
Yeah. The Wedding Party is what it's called.
That doesn't help at all.
0.
Yeah, I mean, look at IMDb real quick to make sure
he's over 40. He's won an Academy Award. He has credits for directing.
Yes, directing credits. Yep,
he's a white guy.
White guy, very white.
Steve
Was
Jobs.
was this actor in Gladiator?
No.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's kind of where I was leaning.
Mm-hmm.
Or where I was leaning that way. Wedding party. I don't know that wedding party. When did the movie come out?
Okay, let me clean up real quick the question about the movie thing. 3 Rooms in Manhattan would be his first official film. Again, I don't know that.
That doesn't help either.
Yeah. What was the
that
question?
actually makes it worse. When did it come out?
The movie?
Yeah.
1965.
Yeah, let's go. All right, he's an oldie.
He's a real oldie. Yeah.
Is he still alive?
He is still alive and kicking. What question number are we on? Like 8?
I think
9.
I think 7 or 8.
Okay, I'll say 8. I'm pretty sure it's 8.
Then why'd you ask?
Is that a question? is that 9 now or
No. Is this person known for being short?
No, I wouldn't say so. No. I don't even know that they are short. I don't know their height, to be honest with you, but they're not known for being short. No.
All right. There goes Danny.
Who'd you think it was?
Danny DeVito. Does this person have blue eyes?
Let me do a cross reference real quick. No, he does not.
All right, they got brown eyes, Steven.
You got open-ended right here now.
Open-ended. I am going to
ask what they won the Academy Award for.
No, that's come on. Be real. That's gonna narrow it down.
Oh,
I think the star of that film is gonna be the one I wanted, obviously. If it's best actor.
Give me the director of the movie that won the Academy Award.
All right, let me see.
I don't know if this is gonna help us at all.
It probably will.
It's gonna be like Steven Spielberg.
It definitely will. Actually, I think if I remember the director correctly.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, it's gonna narrow it down, but Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese. Okay. Is this person in Meet the Parents?
Yes. Yeah, as soon as you say Scorsese, it kind of wraps it up for you.
I was gonna, dude. It was him or Al
Pacino.
Al Pacino, and I was like,
so it's De Niro.
It is De Niro, my friend. De Niro.
That was good.
I was gonna say Shark Tale for his best film if anybody asks. That way I can kind of throw it off. Or there's like another movie where like he has a cameo, like Joker. Like he's not really in the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should have said where he's like the assistant. Remember when he goes back in, like he's an older dude. And he goes
with Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. It was Taxi, huh? When he got it, is that what he got it
Raging Bull?
Oh, Raging Bull, yeah.
And he won a supporting one in Godfather Part 2.
Yeah. Bronx Tale's his best work.
But Taxi Driver is technically his first like starring film. That's why I was like starring film, or because that would have been like a dead giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely would have.
That's it. It's my game. You guys beat me all 3 times.
I think next time we don't get the open-ended question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might
open the
be a good
questions.
idea.
That was fun though. I like that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
that was good. All right, well, let's wrap up our show, gentlemen. Any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
No, can't wait for next episode.
Mhm.
Ahsoka, and
Definitely.
can't wait for more of Modern Warfare 3 to be released. First level was dope. I'm taking this first level, but that level dropped it. That was cool. So besides that, more info. I'm good.
Yeah, same here. I'm a little sad this year about the Call of Duty beta because I don't get to play it a week early because no PlayStation anymore. So I figure you guys is paying this year. But yeah, nothing here. I'm excited for Ahsoka. Big Brother's going pretty good now. It's gotten spicy now, I should say. But that's all I got.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Ahsoka, it's worth a watch. I truly, to answer the question that we posed on here, does Filoni really know what he's doing in Star Wars? I say yes. I think he knows what he's doing. I'm excited to see where this is going. But that is all for us. We are slightly unqualified. Signing off. Catch us on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Smash that. Yeah, Spotify. Smash that like, follow, give us subs, all that fun stuff. But thanks. Have a great night.